So the official article has dropped. This is from Eli Blumenthal over at CNET. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you guys can check it out. So the official article is now out with some additional information that you guys will be able to read. And I'll cover that in the next video once again. But I wanted to drop this video from the T-Mobile perspective. So we went right into the Verizon one. And I talked about, asking you guys, do you guys think will Verizon respond? Now we have to talk about T-Mobile. Will T-Mobile respond to this, right? We have AT&T, that is the third largest carrier by the postpaid numbers. And then you have T-Mobile, that is in second. And they're telling, per their guidance to the market, that they want to be the biggest grower every quarter, right? 6 million customers for 2025. And to hit those numbers, you have to be at a certain growth. So now what happens when you have a AT&T that's going to cut into that, or at least they're trying to cut into that? Is that more so a problem for T-Mobile? Or does T-Mobile just grow at such a big volume now that they don't even have to look AT&T's way? Because usually stuff like that is baked in, right? You don't normally know what the carriers are gonna do, right? You don't know the moves that they're generally gonna make, but you have to have some of that baked in, where you sit there and when you're studying your guidance and you look at your numbers and you say, hey, what if AT&T does this move? How will this affect us? What if Verizon does something else? How does that affect us? So all of that has to be looked at, right? So maybe T-Mobile doesn't even respond to this, right? It's a possibility because they just grow at such high volumes. And I don't know if this deal necessarily is going to slow that down. Now, this deal specifically, AT&T is going to take more people from the switching pool. I will say this. I've seen comments, and this deal is targeting T-Mobile customers, former Sprint customers. It's targeting everyone, right? And even the value segment, because AT&T allows this promo on all of their plans, even the cheapest one. So that in itself, and I'll stress that again in the AT&T video that I'll make. That's the big deal here. Yes, they've offered an iPhone 12 in the past for $1,000 off, but that phone had to be in great condition. This is literally a broken phone that you have in your drawer. You take it and you can get $830 off. You can get $1,000 off if you are on a 13 Pro or above. So this is a big deal, and the industry is going to take note, right? T-Mobile is going to look how this is going to affect their business, and then we will see if they respond. But in order for T-Mobile to respond, because remember, T-Mobile is quite balanced. T-Mobile still has the similar or same promotions, right? They remain competitive there. And then they're still 20% cheaper in some segments. They still do a third line free, right? And by the way, I'll make that video probably tomorrow, but T-Mobile won against Spectrum on the initial complaint for the national advertising division. T-Mobile challenged it and they won. So they're going to be able to continue to advertise the 20% cheaper versus the other guys. But we'll talk about that in the video tomorrow. So T-Mobile still has that advantage when it comes to growth and growing the company. They take a balanced approach. They still are cheaper, right? They still do taxes and fees included on their top plans. And then they still offer the phone promos, right? If say they had to match AT&T, like say they offer any phone, any conditions on all plans, that would cut into T-Mobile big time because they already grow so much. So just imagine how many free phones they would have to give out at that type of growth, especially if it's labeled any condition. That's a lot of free phones. I mean, they grew in Q4, they grew more than Verizon and AT&T combined. So yes, AT&T would spend a ton of money on this, but if T-Mobile matched this, I mean, T-Mobile would be spending even more because nothing really changes. The device cost is still the device cost. And if T-Mobile is doubling the growth of their competitors combined, I mean, golly. So definitely something to keep in mind. Just wanted to talk about that in this video. Wanted to see if you think that to see if T-Mobile will respond. Right? It's possible. I'm thinking they're going to look at this. They're going to take a serious look. I know Verizon will, but T-Mobile is definitely going to take a serious look because they have to grow. Their entire business strategy evolves around growth. They're not an income stock yet. They're just not. It's grow, 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 grow. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.